Hey everybody, it's the RevEx Social Distancing Small Table Show, and I think this is episode 10, unless I'm miscounting. And episode 10 is Die Harder. I'm coming to you from that half-basement apartment in Parasite, and I'm your host, Professor X. My shirt today is Vinyl Fever, and if you don't know what Vinyl Fever is, it means you've probably never been to Tallahassee or lived there for a very significant part of time. Tallahassee, Florida. But from at least the late 80s into the early 2000s. I think that's the time period. Vinyl Fever, over several locations, originally started out as a place that sold vinyl and cassettes that were reused and stuff like that. So it was the good used music store slash place in town. And then it graduated to cassettes and graduated to CDs and various stuff like that. And all throughout the time that it existed, it had the best selection. It was the place where you went to get underground hip hop. It was the place where you went to get punk. It was the place where you went to get, I got all my George Carlin collection through them. So it was also one of the few places, it was an independent place, and it was one of the few places that you could look up an album that was available anywhere in the world in the distribution charts in those days, and then they would contact the distributor and get it and bring it into the store so you could buy it. So if you see the wall behind here, and if you've ever seen the art in my place, there's a massive collage, and it starts here, but it literally goes 4 times as much down the room. And much of this is a collage of cassette covers. Back in the day, I had an actual collection of cassettes that reached 10,000 individual cassettes, and this lasted up into the 90s. Late 90s, early 2000s, I largely skipped the CD era. I went directly from cassettes to digital with a little bit of in between. And so when I went to digital, though, I had 10,000 cassettes. And so I took all the little covers of the cassettes, of the ones that I liked, or the ones that meant the most to me, or the ones that I thought had cultural relevance, and made them into this massive collage that I've then brought with me from Florida to DC to Virginia to DC to different parts of DC. So that's where all those cassettes got at Vinyl Fever. As were these postcards that make up this thing. They used to have a postcard rack, not this one, which is from the Hirshhorn, but the rest of these were all on the postcard rack of Vinyl Fever back in the day. So, and you can tell that they're all up to a certain point. So there's a lot of you got your Quentin Tarantino stuff quite heavily featured on there. And then some throwback stuff that was cool back at that point. So like your Star Wars or your, what is that? Twin Peaks, X-Files, a couple other things in here. River Phoenix seemed to make it into rotation, all kinds of whatever. So this is very, very 90s. Yeah. Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, there's that Burning Monk Rage Against the Machine postcard. So yeah, so they sold those, all kinds of stuff. Eventually went out of business because, things went from digital to whatever. So, Vinyl Fever. The Button, Think Before You Love, which is one I believe that we got for a STD education campaign in college, I think is where this one is from, when we gave these out, and we did them for like STD Awareness Week, and it was either a program that was sponsored when I was SGA president, or that as an advisor, one of those things. Somewhere along the way there was an event, I'm pretty sure it was a student event, raising awareness about proper practices and giving out condoms and all this, and this was one of the buttons from it, Think Before You Love, which, whether you use the word love there or not at the end, is still really relevant right now. So think before you whatever. All right. Moving on. This is our small table show, which is recorded live, one take, no edits, many errors, as you can see. And you can join us. You could do music, comedy, monologue, commentary, theatrical, whatever, post-apocalyptic possum recipes, whatever. If you watched yesterday, you see that the other person that has submitted some of these so far is Jillian Cardillo, and she's doing characters that are doing short sketches. So yesterday she did Gina. Tomorrow she'll be back, 2 days ago she did Gina. 3 days ago, her previous time she did Gina, but yesterday she did Sully. Gina will be back tomorrow. So check those out. Those are hilariously funny. You can do stuff like that, or you can do other things. Just contact us on our website, revexproductions.org, or contact me, Professor X, Kenneth Quinnell directly on Facebook, Gmail, whatever else, if you know me personally. All right, today's show is brought to you by Soylent Green. All right, the song I'm going to do is a song called Again, Lyrical Collage. This is currently the most listened to song on my new double album mixtape that I released on SoundCloud, Core Nerd Punk Rap. And of all the songs on that, it's a 40-track thing that I put out that's compiled over the last, 7-8 years. It's this is the most listened to one so far. And what this is, lyrical collage, that's a thing. And so the way to think of a lyrical collage, which is, as far as I can tell, is a thing that I came up with. It's effectively like medley on, like, not steroids, but more like acid. So what a lyrical collage is I take 2 bars, and really not much more under most circumstances, from a particular song, whether it be a rap song or not, and then only 2 bars from that song for this new cover version, wherein it's now a combination of a bunch of different 2 bars from a bunch of different songs. So like a medley would be, except that instead of staying faithful to those original recordings and melodies and things, these words, and just the words, not the music, not the melodies, not the rhythm, anything, are switched into a new song in a new format. And they're combined in a way that from different things, they have a particular theme. I've written several of these. I've only recorded a couple of them. This is probably the first one you've heard. Unless, one other one you might have heard is I have one called Top 40. That was, at the time, my top 40 favorite hip-hop artists. And I did 2 bars from each of those and made this song out of it. So this is a different one than that. This one, again, is based on punk music. Now, in terms of punk music here, what I mean is that I have taken lyrics from a bunch of different punk artists and put them together, little piece by piece, like Legos, into this new song with this new theme, this new narrative. And this, other than the words being the exact verbatim from the original, they're completely recontextualized otherwise. So it's a new song, a new format, new beat. They're mostly rapped in this case. And so also I will say that when I said this one is made up of punk lyrics, that is punk in the broadest possible fucking definition. So it means post-punk, punk, 1970s stuff to the present, different genres, different complete meanings and different stuff like that. So throughout this song, you will hear lyrics from all of these artists. X-Ray Specs, The Ramones, The Jam, Buzzcocks, Madness, Black Flag, The Vandals, Anti-Flag, MC5, Johnny Thunders, NoFX, The Specials, Real Big Fish, The Clash, The Damned, Less Than Jake, Dead Kennedys, Velvet Underground, Generation X, Patti Smith, All Against Authority, Suicidal Tendencies, Sex Pistols, Bad Brains, Gang of Four, The Misfits, Dead Boys, The Germs, Iggy Pop, and the New York Dolls. And I think that's everybody. So those are put into this new song, which in this case is, the beat is rap, EDM, new wave, as is much of the delivery. But it's based on these punk lyrics. So, that being that short story long, because this is the explanation was longer than the song. This is again Lyrical Collage by Professor X, and here's my Avengers Infinity War, really too tall to use cup. I know I'm artificial, but don't put the blame on me. I was reared with appliances in a consumer society. Go to work is such a drag, face the boggy such an ass. All my life has been the same, I learned to live by hate and pain. I need sex, I need love, I need drink, I need drugs, I need food, I need cash, I need you to love me back. Now pass the blame and don't blame me. Just close your eyes and count 2, 3. I see my place in American waste, faced with the choices I can't take. Some people are bad and they don't give a damn what they do or who they hurt. They go through their lives and don't apologize for the shit that they disturbed. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. Screeching useless martyrs hanging naked upon the cross. They would have you believe the lie. They shriek that all is lost. Can it be true? They got nothing else to say. Do you think they want it that way? The benevolent and wise are being thwarted, ostracized. What a bummer. The world keeps getting dumber. I can still see people dying. Now who takes the blame? The numbers are different. The crime is still the same. And they're planning while I sleep. And even as we speak, to strike when I am weak. All the power's in the hands of people rich enough to buy it. While we stalk the street, too chicken to even buy it. Illegal to dance, forbidden to cry. You do what you're told and you never ask why. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. Something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. One more verse. These are, but not yet. These are all reasons why I'll be exploding tonight. And why this chip on my shoulder feels like a mile wide. It's time to taste what you most fear. Right guard will not help you here. And the people have the power to redeem the work of fools. From the meek, the gracious showers to greed, the people rule. Still you defend the system that perpetuates your hate. Why can I ask any questions of what you say is true? Am I supposed to believe anything or just everything said by you? I ain't equipment, I ain't automatic. You won't find me just staying static. Not as much, with such intensity. I'd like to be what they would not want me to be. To the tension of a world on the wane. I shuffling around on wooden boards, now no longer afraid. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. I got something to say and I'll say it again. I got something to sing and I'll sing it again. I got something to scream and I'll scream it again. All right, that's it for tonight, baby. Baby? That's no, that made me think, forget the name of the damn song. Again, Lyrical Collage. There's nothing to do with baby in there. But again, Lyrical Collage. Thank you. Check it out. It's on Spotify. It's on, not on Spotify, it's on Soundcloud and Bandcamp if you want to check it out. And I will be back tomorrow with a new video from Jillian. Stay safe.